My best friend found out her BF was cheating, but the truth was way worse than we thought. Part 1. The text that changed everything. I wasn't trying to snoop, I swear. But when your best friend shoves her phone into your hands and begs, "Do you think he's cheating on me?" You look. And I did. Jenna and I had been best friends since high school. We shared everything. Boys, secrets, and dreams of a future that was somehow always just out of reach. When she started dating Matt, I was happy for her. He seemed perfect. Handsome, charming, everything she'd wanted. But lately, something had changed. Jenna had become paranoid. Random texts, calls he wouldn't answer. And just last night, he accidentally turned off his location. I knew Jenna had always struggled with trust, but this felt different. Something was off. That's why, when a text popped up from a contact saved as Ellis, Jenna shoved the phone into my hands like she was handing me a grenade. Ellis, tomorrow night. Same place. Don't be late. My stomach turned. Ellis. Could be a co-worker, I thought. Maybe. But Jenna was begging me to help her. Please, just find out. I can't take this anymore. I shouldn't have agreed. But I couldn't let her spiral, not when she was this close to falling apart. The next night, I followed Matt's car, my heart racing with each turn. This wasn't a movie, it was real life, and I was about to uncover something I couldn't unsee. I parked down the street, hands clammy, my mind running wild with possibilities. This wasn't his usual hangout. Hell, it wasn't even a place I'd ever seen him go. The doubt was eating me alive. I waited, and then she walked in. Laura Spencer. Matt's ex. The last person I wanted to see. The last person I expected him to choose over Jenna. She strolled in, effortlessly confident, like she was stepping into a movie scene. And Matt? He stood up to greet her. His smile was that perfect, calculating grin he saved for the women who could give him what he wanted. They didn't just talk. They leaned in. He touched her. Laughed. I felt bile rise in my throat. I'd seen the look in Jenna's eyes too many times lately. Suspicious, hurt, uncertain. And here Matt was, pulling Laura in like they were more than just exes. I had to know for sure. My hands were shaking as I fumbled for my phone, snapping a picture right as Matt's hand slid over Laura's. Proof. I was about to leave when I collided with something hard. Someone. And then the air left my lungs. Part 2, the lie that broke me. Whoa, you okay? I didn't have to look up to know who it was. Jason, Matt's brother. The one person who had every reason to hate me. Jason and I had history. Real history. I've been more than a friend to him once. But then Matt slid into the picture, charming and manipulative, and suddenly Jason and I didn't speak. I couldn't understand why he let Matt control him like that, let him tear us apart. And now here we were, face to face. I felt the weight of everything between us, the unfinished conversation, the broken trust. Jason's grip on my arms tightened. What are you doing here? My words evaporated as I tried to form a sentence. I'd never been more caught off guard. His eyes flicked over my shoulder, and I knew. He'd seen Matt and Laura. The realization hit him like a slap to the face. He stared at me, and for a brief moment, I saw something shift in his eyes, a decision being made. Without warning, Jason's voice dropped to a dangerous whisper. You need to come with me. I didn't hesitate this time. I needed to know. Jason led me outside, away from the crowded bar and into the dim light of the parking lot. His grip on me was still strong, pulling me toward his car. When we got inside, he didn't say anything. He didn't need to. Jason pulled out his phone and swiped through something. His eyes locked on mine, and my pulse thundered in my ears. And then he showed me the photo. Matt, with another woman. Not Laura. A blonde, way too young, way too innocent. I froze. Jason's voice was cold, seething with fury. 2 months ago. He's been doing this for years. Couldn't breathe. Why are you showing me this? Jason's eyes bore into mine. Because Matt's not just a cheater. His voice dropped even lower, like a threat. He's dangerous. The air felt thick. I could barely process what he was saying, but the truth hit me like a punch to the gut. Part 3. The truth no one wanted to believe. Jason's car hummed quietly in the parking lot, the silence between us suffocating. My mind was still racing, replaying the image of Matt with another girl, and the gut-wrenching betrayal that I hadn't even seen coming. "How long have you known?" I whispered, my voice barely audible. Jason's grip tightened on the steering wheel, his jaw clenched as if holding back a storm. "Too long." I waited. "Why didn't you tell anyone?" Jason exhaled sharply. "Because no one ever believes me." Matt is a master of manipulation. He can twist the truth so well that even when people see what he's doing, they make excuses for him. I've tried. Every damn time. I didn't know what to say. This was the Matt I'd never seen. The one who controlled everyone around him. "Does Jenna know?" I asked, dreading the answer. Jason's jaw tightened again, his nostrils flaring. "No. But she needs to. You need to tell her." Now, I felt the weight of the moment settle over me like a heavy blanket. This wasn't going to be easy. It wasn't going to be safe. But Jenna deserved the truth. The real truth. And deep down, I knew that Matt was about to fight harder than he ever had before to keep his lies hidden. The truth was finally out, and I was going to be the one to tell Jenna. Epilogue. I never could have imagined how much that night would change everything. When I walked up to Jenna, holding the phone with Matt's betrayal, she didn't cry. She didn't scream. She just stared at me, wide-eyed. And then softly, she whispered, I knew. The truth wasn't just about Matt. It was about everything that had been left unsaid. And now it was too late to pretend any of it hadn't been hiding in plain sight. Part 4. The Breaking Point. Jenna's eyes were wide, glued to the phone screen in my hands. She didn't speak. She didn't move. It was like the world had stopped around us, leaving only that one terrible truth to hang in the air. I knew, she repeated, her voice barely a whisper. The words hit me like a punch to the gut. I wasn't prepared for this. I wasn't prepared for her to know. Jenna, I began, but I didn't know what else to say. What could I say? She blinked, her lips trembling. I didn't want to believe it. I kept telling myself he wasn't like that, that he loved me. But I knew. I stood there helpless as her tears began to fall, slow at first, then faster. I reached out instinctively, wanting to comfort her, but she pulled away, shaking her head. No, I need to think. I can't. Her voice cracked. I wanted to take back everything. Take back following Matt, take back showing her that text. But I couldn't. The truth was out now, and there was no turning back. The days that followed were a blur of uncomfortable silence. Jenna avoided me, her phone always out of reach, her eyes downcast whenever we crossed paths. And Matt? He was nowhere to be found. I tried calling him, texted him, but he didn't answer. It was like he'd vanished from the world, leaving nothing but the wreckage he'd caused. I knew what I had to do. I had to face him. I had to confront him for everything he'd done. But part of me was terrified. Terrified that his charm, his ability to manipulate everyone around him, would be enough to pull Jenna back in. So I did what any desperate person would do. I called Jason. Are you sure you want to do this? He asked, his voice heavy with concern when I finally reached him. This isn't just about Matt being a jerk. He's dangerous, remember? I don't care. I snapped, frustrated. He's hurting her. He's broken her. And I'm not going to stand by and let him get away with it. Jason paused on the other end, the weight of the silence pressing down on both of us. I get it. Just be careful, okay? You don't know what Matt's capable of when he feels cornered. I knew Jason was right, but at that moment, the only thing I cared about was seeing Matt face to face. Seeing the liar behind the mask. Part 5, The Confrontation. I found Matt the next day, lurking outside a coffee shop on the corner of town. His eyes flicked to mine as I approached, a flash of recognition crossing his face, followed by that signature smug grin. Did you come to apologize? He asked, voice dripping with false sweetness. Because you can't fix what's already broken, sweetheart. My fists clenched at my sides. Cut the crap, Matt. We both know what's going on here. He raised an eyebrow, a dark glint in his eyes. Oh, do we? You've been playing both sides. Lying, cheating, and you almost ruined Jenna because of it. My voice shook with rage. I know about Laura. And the other girl. All of it. Matt stepped closer, his smirk unwavering. You think she doesn't know about that? Trust me, she does. She just hasn't chosen to do anything about it yet. My blood ran cold. What are you talking about? His smile twisted. Jenna? She's not as innocent as you think. She knew everything. She liked it. The games. The attention. But I guess she wasn't ready to face it just yet. I froze, every word sinking into me like shards of glass. You're lying. Am I? Matt's eyes darkened, the facade slipping. You never realized, did you? You thought you were protecting her, but she's always known. She just doesn't care. Everything inside me recoiled. I wanted to scream, to shout, but I held back. I couldn't let him get to me. So what now? I asked, trying to steady my breath. What happens when she finally wakes up and sees you for who you really are? Matt's gaze hardened, his expression turning dangerously cold. She'll come crawling back to me. They always do. Because no one can give her what I can. No one knows her like I do. I shook my head, disgusted. You've been manipulating her from the start. This isn't love, Matt. It's control. I don't need your lectures, he sneered. Just stay out of my way. You'll see, sooner or later, Jenna will come to her senses. And with that, he turned and walked away, leaving me standing there, heart pounding, every word he said swirling in my head like a storm. I couldn't be sure if Matt was lying or if Jenna truly had known more than she let on. But I couldn't just walk away from her now, not when she was hurting. Part 6, The Choice. I found Jenna at home later that night, sitting on the couch with her eyes fixed on the floor. The air between us felt heavy with unspoken words. I hesitated at the door, unsure of how to approach. But this was it. No more pretending. Jenna, we need to talk. She didn't look up, but her voice was soft. About what? Matt. I nodded, sitting beside her. I know what he's done. All of it. I confronted him. And I need to know. Do you know? For a long moment, she didn't answer. Her fingers played with the fabric of her shirt, as if searching for something to hold on to. Finally, she met my eyes. I knew, but I didn't want to believe it. I thought I was the problem. That maybe I was overthinking everything. But now I see it. I see him for who he really is. The pain in her voice was raw. She wiped a tear away quickly, trying to keep it together. You don't have to go through this alone, Jenna, I said, my voice thick with emotion. I'm here. We'll get through this. She leaned into me, her tears falling freely now. I don't know how to let him go. I thought I loved him. You will, I whispered. One day, you'll see you're worth so much more. And in that moment, I believed it. Jenna was strong, stronger than she realized. And as for Matt, he wouldn't win this time.